This is the Italian Real Estate Podcast, here to help you with the ins and outs and basics of Italian real estate, presented by ItalianRealEstateLawyers.com. Hello there, and welcome to another edition of the Italian Real Estate Podcast, presented by ItalianRealEstateLawyers.com. We are back at it again today with two very special guests, Marco Permunian and Andrea Permunian, both lawyers here in Italy. How are you guys doing?
Good, how are you?
Tutto bene?
Sì, grazie.
Bene, bene. Okay, today we are doing a very interesting episode on a concept that completely baffles me. It's something that even we've been sitting here for the past 10 minutes trying to figure out how we are going to translate this term, but there is nothing that properly does this justice. We need to actually spend some time to explain this idea. One is Nuda Propreata, and then the other is Usufrutto. These are some types of properties that you may come across here in Italy when you are searching, that you will want to understand what these terms actually mean, because it could definitely have an effect on the way you might be able to access the property, or if you would even want to purchase the property to begin with. But Marco, maybe just to get us into this, would you mind explaining a little bit about this? And we'll ask also Andrea to get even further into the subject.
Yeah, as you just said, this is a concept that we may only have here in Italy. So I will leave to Andrea the technical aspects of it, but just to give a brief overview of what we're going to be talking about in this episode. Some people are going to be finding online while searching for properties where what it's being sold is only the Nuda Proprietà, which, as you said, can't really be translated into English. So the owner is not really selling all of the property rights, but just a portion of the property rights. And more precisely, you have to be careful. Why? Because what you're becoming is the owner on paper of the property, but you don't really get to use the property. You don't gain the right to use the property until the seller passes away. So the seller sells to you the ownership rights. So you do become the registered owner of the property, but you don't have the right to use the property. And that's why the price of the property may be lower. So some investors may find these properties attractive because the property price may be actually very low in comparison to another property in the same location, which is being sold normally. But be careful, because until the seller or the person who retains the right to use the property is alive, that person can use the property. And there's nothing you can do to stop that. So this is a right that this person retains for their lifetime. Now, property price is also normally calculated based on the age of the seller. And also there could be like different scenarios. It could be that the owner is selling the property to a third party, or in some cases in Italy, parents use this specific type of sale to sell their property to their children while they retain the right to use the property for their lifetime. Now, the person who retains the right to use the property has certain rights that are very similar to the rights that the property owner has. For example, they also have to pay property taxes or annual taxes. They can make changes to the property. So it's a very unusual concept, but something that you have to pay a lot of attention to if what you're buying is the Nuda Proprietà. Of course, it is generally fully disclosed that what you're buying, what is being offered, is the Nuda Proprietà, and that goes along with a lower price, lower than normal. But when you encounter this concept, just be careful and make sure you understand that you are becoming, yes, the property owner on paper, the registered owner, but you will have limitations on your rights to use the property.
So just a quick follow-up question to that. Is there ever the situation that a person may come across a property and be surprised to find out that in fact that this property is a nuda proprietà, or is this something that you will not be able to avoid knowing?
Well, I'd say that you will necessarily find out at some point in the process. It is normally fully disclosed from the very starting point, and it would be illegal not to disclose it. So
you would, there's not going to be the potential that you end up purchasing a property, owning it, and all of a sudden, oh my goodness, I can't own this,
not really.
I can't use it.
Like in Italy, we have a pretty solid legal system that pays a lot of attention to these things. So I'd say there is absolutely no risk that can happen. But on the contrary, this information would be disclosed by the seller immediately. And the purpose of this episode is to just warn a potential buyer of the limitations that they would have if they are interested in actually investing money in these kinds of properties.
And of course, this is not the norm, but this can be a situation that a person can come across. But Andrea, just maybe, would you mind explaining maybe some of the finer details of what this all entails, this whole concept of nuda proprietà, and then also the usufrutto?
Sì. L'istituto della vendita della nuda proprietà è un istituto che soprattutto negli ultimi anni è in espansione in Italia, in quanto il mercato immobiliare, seppur in rialzo in quest'ultimo anno, è notoriamente da alcuni anni stagnante, e soprattutto purtroppo molte persone trovano difficoltà ad acquistare alcuni immobili dati i costi per l'acquisto. Per questo motivo gli interessi sia di chi vende la nuda proprietà sia di chi l'acquista sono favoriti dalla situazione attuale del mercato. Vendere la nuda proprietà vuol dire cedere a terzi il diritto di proprietà dell'immobile, conservando però per se stessi il diritto di godimento dell'immobile stesso. Quindi formalmente e sostanzialmente l'immobile viene venduto a una terza persona, ma colui che vende l'immobile conserva per sé appunto il diritto di usufrutto, cioè il diritto di vivere e di godere l'immobile fino alla propria morte. Quali sono i vantaggi sia per il venditore che per l'acquirente? Per il venditore il vantaggio è presto detto: viene venduto l'immobile ma si continua a viverlo come in precedenza, quindi seppur l'immobile appartiene ad un terzo soggetto, il venditore continua comunque ad usufruirne e a goderne il possesso. Per l'acquirente invece i vantaggi sono sostanzialmente di natura economica. È normale, infatti è abbastanza ragionevole che se si acquista un immobile senza avere la possibilità di goderne nell'immediato, il prezzo sia più basso rispetto ad un acquisto di un immobile libero da persone e cose. Ecco quindi che questi interessi di venditore ed acquirente si incontrano in questo istituto e favoriscono lo svilupparsi di questo tipo di perfezionamento di contratto di compravendita. Vi è da dire che il prezzo ovviamente trattandosi di una compravendita tra privati, il prezzo può essere stabilito normalmente dalle parti, ma per chi è interessato ad acquistare un immobile, la sola nuda proprietà di un immobile, segnaliamo ed evidenziamo che il Ministero delle Finanze pubblica sul proprio sito un coefficiente a cui va moltiplicata l'età del venditore, in modo da poter capire quale sia l'esatto prezzo di un immobile in vendita in solo nuda proprietà. Infatti per questo tipo di operazione è necessario considerare e valutare l'età della persona che vende un immobile, perché è ragionevole pensare che più il soggetto che vende l'immobile è anziano, minore sarà il tempo in cui vivrà nell'immobile, quindi più immediata sarà la disponibilità per l'acquirente della nuda proprietà. Per quanto riguarda i diritti del nudo proprietario e dell'usufruttuario, l'usufrutto, che è un diritto che si gode fino alla morte, quindi si estinguerà automaticamente con la morte dell'usufruttuario e qualora l'usufruttuario dovesse morire, il diritto di proprietà tornerebbe pieno ed incondizionato in capo al nudo proprietario. Quindi il nudo proprietario, quando l'usufruttuario morirà, tornerà ad essere pieno proprietario. L'usufruttuario ha gli oneri del proprietario sull'immobile, quindi sarà soggetto al pagamento di tutte le imposte e le tasse, ma avrà anche un onere di ordinaria manutenzione dell'immobile. Gli oneri di straordinaria manutenzione invece sembrano ancora essere in capo al nudo proprietario, per cui tutti gli interventi straordinari dovranno essere effettuati dal nudo proprietario. La vendita della nuda proprietà può essere effettuata sia nell'unico immobile di proprietà del nudo proprietario, per cui può essere venduta la prima casa, ma può essere venduta anche una seconda casa o addirittura una casa affittata. In questo caso ovviamente il conduttore dell'immobile affittato continua a vivere nell'immobile e gli affitti, le pigioni pagate sull'immobile sono riscossi dall'usufruttuario e non dal nudo proprietario.
Wow. Okay, that's absolutely fascinating that this would work in that way. I mean, that you do have some rights to this property, but that you just simply don't have all the rights or even to be able to earn on that property. But that's fascinating. Sorry, but I'm interrupting you here. Was there anything else that you wanted to add?
Concludo dicendo che acquistare una casa, acquistare la sola nuda proprietà di una casa può essere anche un'ottima idea di investimento, perché comunque la casa diventi proprietario oggi di un immobile che, è vero, usufruirai fra qualche anno, ma nel frattempo il valore dell'immobile può aumentare perché non è disabitato, viene abitato continuamente dalla persona che ci viveva prima, che ha comunque l'onere di mantenerlo in buono stato conservativo, e nel frattempo il valore dell'immobile potrebbe aumentare, per cui è anche una buona idea acquistare oggi per usufruire domani.
Again, this is absolutely fascinating, and especially coming from a very different mindset, a different perspective. This concept is fascinating that it even exists, and that you can own a property without necessarily having all of the rights to the property or to be able to use it or to be able to earn income from it. But it would make sense in some cases to be able to purchase potentially at a lower rate, so that you can go, in fact, maybe make a profit on it at a later date and have that longer term investment. Or that property that maybe a little bit down the road, when you might be interested in having, say, a retirement home or something like that, that you'll be able to have that use of it yourself, that place that you don't need in this very moment. But wow, anyway, thank you guys so much again. If anybody's needing any assistance to purchase property here in Italy, how can they get in contact with you?
People can contact us through our website, italianrealestatelawyers.com, or they can give us a call. The number is on the website.
Fantastic. And of course, if you're interested in more content like this about purchasing property in Italy and moving to Italy, be sure that you are subscribed to the YouTube channel as well as the audio only podcast. But if you are subscribed also to the YouTube channel, you are automatically also subscribed to the Italian Citizenship Podcast. So there's that little bonus there. And of course, if you're interested in more content about life in Italy, living in Italy as an Italian dual citizen expat, then you can come over to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Rafael Di Furia, where I also get out and show a little bit of this beautiful country that we call home. And also you can find some of my episodes available as an audio-only podcast through Not Your Average Globetrotter on your favorite podcasting platform of choice. But in the meantime, thank you so much for joining us again. We have been here with Marco Permunian and Andrea Permunian. Thank you again, guys, for being here and making yourselves available for this. We look forward to seeing you all next time. Stay safe and healthy out there. Later.
Thank you.
Thank you.